folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to a video review of, let's go here. I want to make sure I get the name right. This is going to be Blue Cat Audio. We're looking at Blue Cat's AXION. This is my friend Doug, and he is a real guitar player, and he is going to be demoing some of these presets, and we're going to show you some of the awesome stuff that you can do with this plugin. There is another part of this video. The first part is me going through all of the settings and doing some of my type of guitar playing just to demo some of the options and some of the things that you can preset, and we'll be going through even more of that here because this guy has an even wider understanding of what some of these things do, so this should be very cool. All right, so with our practice yesterday, your overall opinion of the plugin, and be honest.
My overall opinion? Oh, it's really, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Luddite, dude. I want an amp and tubes and microphone and, you know, in a room where I could turn it up to 10 and not have a wife yell at me because it's too loud. But, you know, so I could find faults in anything. Right, but sure. In order to be fair, there's certain things that I wish a lot of these things could do. Maybe they can't do it. We've talked about that, and I'm still on this quest to figure that out. But I think in general, this has got some really cool features. There's some really good ones in there.
A couple of things that we found out: you can have dual amps.
Yeah. And
another thing that we found out, which is a very normal issue with most guitar plugins, is you might have to do a little bit of EQing before it gets into the plugin. Yeah. Now, with this one, definitely not as much, but we're actually going to go ahead and do some demonstrations on why you would need to do that and see if we can actually hear some of the differences. But overall, we had a blast last night just practicing, going through some of the presets and actually building some really cool effects. So we're going to do that for you here. All right, so where do you want to start? Did you want to start with one of the presets we created?
Doesn't matter. I think you know what you might want to. I don't know if we want to do what we were talking about with the low end. It's just low end is
okay.
Weird, you know what I mean? It's kind of that strange thing where, again, I went back last night after we got done doing this, and I looked at the ones that I default to, and some of them actually have that built into it. It's where it allows you to sweep up to where you don't want to have that low. Because I said yesterday, it's weird because if this note is the lowest note on the guitar, why do you have all that information down there? It just doesn't make any sense. So
now, are we going to hear a difference between this? Are we going to hear a difference between this and the guitar you used yesterday?
Not really. I mean, the pickups might be slightly different. It's a Les Paul style. This is more of a Strat style, so maybe one is more thicker. But these aren't really like high output pickups. These are kind of modern. Yeah, wow. That's just this. As a guitar tech, I'm not proud of this, but I don't want to change it. You know.
Yeah, Doug sets up all of my guitars too.
Yeah,
so.
As a guitar tech, I'm not proud of the way this is, but it works, and I'm also the edge. If it's not broken, don't turn it around.
It looks like it's got a couple of miles on it.
It's got a few. But my pickups aren't really loud pickups. They're like, you know, PAF style, like you know, for you guitar geeks, 8K pickups, if that's what you know. But this one's a little different. This has got a little bit more muscle. This is an experiment, actually. Yeah, I took one. Well, I took a coil because I read it on the Seymour Duncan website or the forums years ago, and it's like they took one coil from one pickup and they married it with another one, and it's not really hum canceling, but it's a really unique sounding pickup. But they now make this. It's called the 59 Custom Hybrid. So I used to make pickups years ago, so I got into the weeds and winding them and all that, and I'd love to do it again. But
awesome.
But my ears become a little bit more discerning, and it's just hard to unhear certain things.
Well, that was nice about last night is the fact that we got this plug-in and we go in there, and you should have seen him really tweak stuff to get things and to get some of the presets where he felt they should be, and so far each time he found the sound he was looking for, which is unique sometimes in a plug-in. All right, so.
But if you want to do this, because I don't know if this is going to help for some people, but you might want to show them what we did yesterday when you put that. Just put it.
Let's do that. All right. So one of the things that we did is we opened up the channel. Let me close this right now. And we want to turn off the inputs. And on the inserts, we actually put the Pro EQ.
And any EQ will work.
Right.
You know, any EQ will work.
And
with
we
this.
want to move it first. It's important to put the EQ before the processor. So it processes only the guitar and not the plugin.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically, my logic goes like this. So if they see all this, right?
Yes.
So if you see all this here, this is what never made a lot of sense. So this fundamental note E, which is again roughly, what did we figure that out? It was like around 7. No, it was like around
8.
No, it was like around 80 hertz or something like that.
Yeah.
Around there, I forgot the actual thing. I don't understand why there's all that other stuff in there apart from noise. Now, someone who might be a lot smarter than me can tell me what this is, but I've just noticed if you take this and you just put like a low pass and just kind of move it, you start to see the bass starts to go away. Pull it back up, and then go back. Even just put it right where the fundamental is, which is again right around 80. There you go. It gets rid of a lot of that extra junk underneath it. It's real subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what that does, to me, this is going to act, I would think, and again, there might be some smarter people about this that know this. This is going to be like more what an amp would hear, because I'm sure if there is information that's in there when it gets into an amplifier, it gets kind of rolled off, or somewhere down the line, it's going to get filtered out.
Right.
But the way these amp sims are, they're just, some of them are so exacting, and I'm sure some of them try to put those kind of irregularities in.
Right.
But sometimes it's almost too right.
Now,
really make
is
it
that usually captured in the what is it? The not the AI. What am I thinking of?
what do you mean?
In order to create the sim.
I don't know. I think other people do. I don't know what goes into making these. So
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of, and there's a reason why there's a lot of really good ones out there. So I'm
Right.
sure they have their means of doing it. I don't know exactly what it is. I know that the ones that I like, and there, do we talk about other
Yeah,
ones?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
the one that I've been defaulting to mainly lately is a Neural. Neural seems to have something about it where it seems it doesn't get in the way as much.
Right.
And it seems to be a lot more familiar sounding. Like,
Right.
and I haven't done any hardcore experiments where I, play just a simple part and throw a quick microphone on my guitar,
Right.
and then
right.
and try it, and then put a sim in that's kind of similar to my amp. And I got an amp that I've been using. It's a one that I built. I like building stuff because I can't afford it. So I essentially built a small box 50,
Exactly.
which is just, it's if the schematics are correct, which I don't know if they are or not, doesn't really matter. It's there's a lot of mods guys had done through Marshalls through the years that just work, and a lot of people have variations on those things.
Right.
So that's all I built is I built a one channel plexi style, 2 gain stages. The next channel, 3 gain stages with a slightly more gain on it than would be stock. So that would be the equivalent of like a plexi Marshall, and then a master,
cool.
then a master volume Marshall. And then the output stage is a little bit lower just because playing clubs I don't need a 50 watt amp anymore. So,
Right,
so it's like
exactly.
it's about 30 watts. So it's good. It's not perfect. There's some things I'd like to fix, but I like to go through it when I get a little more time to do exactly
Right.
this, where I can just hit some notes on it and then kind of come up with something similar and amp wise and see how that works, because it's just things start to get cloudy, and
Yeah.
that's the part that I can't quite
Well,
get
it's
over.
like when people actually do a mix of a song and they start stacking reverbs instead of trying to mix their song with just 1 or 2 reverbs, across the whole song, they put reverbs on all of the inserts and you start to get that mud. And I think it's a similar situation.
It's part of that, yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep an ear out for this. I'm going to close this for right now and go back to the Blue Cat, and we may even still adjust that EQ as we go on. All right, so let's see. We came up with a couple of our own presets last night. Let's try this one. Nice.
Now the key to a good amp sim though
What's
is being able
that?
the key to a cool amp is being able to back it off and really get. So if I hit hard, I hit hard. If I go, or I turn it down.
Yeah. Now, see, I never even thought of that. So, do you feel that the plugin responds well to the volume?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay,
It's pretty
good.
That's one thing I gauge all these on.
Oh,
And,
nice.
I think is there a gate on there?
I don't think so. All right, let's do this. Okay, so now you guys have seen two things. When you're in this mode, this is the one second. This is the that's right. This is the easy mode. So what you would do is now you guys want to see presets. Watch this. So there are literally tons of presets, and Doug was even saying.
Yeah, I think it's too. I don't like.
There's
a lot.
too many, right?
It's too much.
But see, when you're a real guitarist, you don't want presets. When you're somebody like me, the more the merrier. So, but the cool thing is, for even the non-understanding amp person, has a ton of stuff to go through. Mm-hmm. So there's two modes here to this. You've got the easy one where you can just go ahead and go through presets and just do some basic adjustments. And like I showed earlier, you have this full-blown deal here where you can also choose a second guitar amp. And we're going to go through that here too at some point. But these are all pedal inputs. Here are the pedals that actually exist here.
So those would be the post obviously is the stuff that would happen after the amp, or like in some cases like an effects loop.
Right, this one.
Yeah, that's you put the delays.
Now what about up here? Is it
that's the stuff that goes in the front.
Okay,
that's with the pre and the.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, pre and post right there.
Yeah, if he's like, this is a. I think we like this one because this is like a good basic Marshall. So if you want, like, you can turn the gain down. See the drive? And just pull that back a little bit. Oh, maybe dial the reverb back a little bit. But here, this is what I thought was cool. This little Mac.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, and check this out. Now I've got this channel in mono. Check out how it sounds in stereo.
So if you got a good basic amp, then you can, drag whatever you want in the front.
Right.
A lot of amp sims do this. So you can, like, if you hit the boost compressor, like hit that guy and just turn on.
Actually,
it's on.
It's on.
It's on. So if you look at the compressor, the level down on the bottom, if you turn that up, no, the down at the turn that up a little bit. So it's not really. It's a compressor. It's squashing it. So it can push it a little bit more forward.
Now, what is that compressing? Is it just a guitar or the whole?
No, it's a signal going in.
It's a signal going in.
Yeah, it's like having a pedal compressor.
Right.
So if you want, like, grab a drive pedal.
Here, I'm gonna let him mouse.
Okay. So if you find here, and I like this, where you can kind of this is all their built-in stuff. You should show them this too. This is really kind of cool.
Oh,
we'll come to that later. So let's just put what kind of distortion we got? We got a blue drive. So I don't know what this one's from. I'm gonna do this. got a little bit of extra
Yeah, that's
sauce.
nice. Yeah. Now we could conceivably put like a gate on that first.
Yeah,
pedal,
very good.
right?
Yeah, I mean, typically, you know, like, and it depends on where. I think, you know, some people put the gates in front. I think that's fine, except if you put a gate, it's not always going to cut this going into the amplifier.
Right,
So maybe
right.
you put it at the end. If it's really gets to be obnoxious, you know, if you're playing really
Oh,
heavy.
so if we put it on the top, it's
Or
not
you can
gonna
put it in
get-
later. You could put it in. I mean,
Well, but that would cut off the delay and the reverb.
yeah. If you well,
Okay.
it would cut the hiss going into this when you stop playing. You
Oh,
know,
I
so
see,
you know,
I
so like
see.
if you wanted, let's just try it here. We'll just see what kind of gate, it's probably dynamics. So what kind of gate do they have here?
There we go. Gate right there.
There's a gate. Let's see what it does. So obviously there's. Let's turn that puppy back on, so that we can see if we can get this guy to kind of do what it needs to do. There you go. There you go. That's a little bit easier.
Wow.
Well, so it kind of cleans it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, obviously play with the threshold whenever you want it to kind of kick in.
Oh yeah.
And then the tap. Release. Pass. I mean, just like a normal gate. So, really, obviously, I think it depends. Like, and let's try this. Let's see if we can. We didn't do this yesterday. If I decide to swap this over there, what does that do?
Oh.
So if you see, if you notice that, so if I turn that, it actually does cut the gate. It does cut the noise.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
kind of good. All right, cool. So that's where I put it. Because sometimes they don't. Because sometimes the hiss constantly goes through. So.
That's clean.
Yeah. I know that's just that one. That's just that one drive loop. That's just like a. What are these? Oh, is there presets for these guys? Oh, there you go. These are, and then all these have the presets inside this, so a little bit more bright. Let's try another one.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can.
See if
I
you
wonder.
can get
How do we get rid of these? Let's
Okay,
let's play with that. Let's.
Okay. So let me give it a shot here.
We didn't do this last night.
Oh no, we
No.
didn't.
Yeah.
So let's see. That actually turns it on and off. Right click. No, it's not right click. Do we just drag it out?
No. Go up in the. Try the menu underneath the. There you go. Remove. This one. Easy.
Beautiful.
Cool. All right.
All right.
So let's hit another one. Let's try another drive pedal.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's find something a little more gnarly, like a fuzz. A fuzz tone.
There you go.
Yeah, a fuzzy tone. I want to make the fuzz. Make this really.
You know, putting that gate.
Oh yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem with gates. These gates start. Did I see the difference?
Yeah, it cuts off.
Yeah, that's the problem with gates. Because if you try to get all this like little stuff underneath. So I like noisy stuff. When I,
So let's see.
if you just.
All right, go ahead. Try it. Well, that helped.
A little bit. That's workable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So reducing the threshold a little bit actually let some of that stuff in.
Yeah.
What's up?
Favor, 2 seconds. Can you please push it out? Can we feed Elvis? I already took him for a walk.
Okay, I'll be right up.
Just for a second.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So let's see. Oh, actually, hold on one second.
Yeah, I'll play around a little bit.
All right.
You're gonna hit it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh. What else do we have here? This is always fun. Let me see here. Let me click on this dude. Is that how do you do that? Let me click on this one. Nope, right. I'm going to. How will we do this? Is there any way to get rid of this?
Although everything so far.
Yeah. I just love it. How did you get rid of that?
Oh, hold on. See if I can remember.
Yeah.
It was. Hold on. There.
Okay.
If you click on the word.
Oh, on the word. Okay, I got it.
So let's go that, and we're gonna see.
Just remove it right now.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect.
I mean, we could just
Yeah.
try something else, but here, let's just try one more drive,
Yeah.
and then we'll leave it at that. Because let's see what a plexi drive does. Because I like plexis on top of plexis. There you go, sis. A little more cleaner. I like Marshall cleans. Everybody likes Fender cleans. I like Marshall cleans too.
It's off right now.
I'm gonna take the delay. I'm gonna pull the delay back a little bit too much. Now, look at this. There you go.
Hey, one thing I want to point out is for those of you that are using Studio One, if you look right here, you can see that every button we hit ends up here, which means if you have a programmable foot pedal board based on MIDI, you can hit all of these pedals if you have that many pedals.
I gotta tell you, after switching to Studio One, that part is like such a no-brainer. There's no other DAW that does that,
No,
right? I mean,
no.
that's like it's
Not
like
that quick.
no. I mean, if if I'm automating like certain moves inside of effects,
Right. So watch how quick this is.
Yeah.
So you see I've got a knob going here,
Yeah.
and you've got that. So now if I assign that, I can go off, on,
Yeah.
on. So if that's a foot switch, off, on. That is fantastic.
There you go.
And for those of you that can't see it, I'm doing that with just a simple knob on my Atom SQ. It is just so simple.
Yeah.
Now you can do that here for global, or you can do it here just for this plugin.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can use that knob, that same knob, for any plugin that's in focus.
But what I love about Studio One is then you just take that whole thing here, and then you figure out which one you want to do, and you realize whatever thing you need, and that's the one. You take that and just drag it onto the track. It's like,
It's so
okay,
easy.
wow, that is the most idiot-proof thing I think I've ever seen before. So.
And that's a big thing for Studio One, just simplifying the workflow.
Yeah, totally. That was the weirdest thing. When I switched over, I was like, okay, this is kind of strange. But then after I started realizing everything else I was doing was strange, and it made more sense to do it this.
Right.
So. Anyways, that's the Marshall.
Okay.
I thought this is a decent Marshall. I mean, Marshalls shouldn't really be that really complicated. You know, you kind of turn it up a little bit, you get it to break.
Let's do one jam.
Okay.
And for the record, that is the first time we've ever jammed together.
It's inspiring.
That was good.
But there actually is something cool that I noticed with this. Is this, and this is where I gauge this stuff. So I got the gain. Where's the gain at? I have the mark. The gain is, I don't know, high, I guess maybe. But it's like, I just noticed the heart. It really does respond.
What's that? Oh.
I mean, it really.
Now the response is true.
It has a real nice dynamic flow.
Nice.
Or flow or range or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through a couple more things for those of you who skipped to the jam part.
Look at a couple of the other amps. And then
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just look through some of the amps. I mean, you might want to show them the one.
Oh, let's do the dual.
You want to do the dual first?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do the dual first. Do you remember how we
Yeah,
activated
here,
that?
I do it.
All right, yeah,
So
please.
Basically, you have, this is neat. I asked around this. I think there's some other plugins that do this.
Okay.
But I wasn't aware. But I think, like in case of Neural, which is the one I like, I asked my buddy about this, and I think you need something else. I think STL Tones might do this. I don't know how they do it, but regardless, I thought this was great because sometimes I've been in a situation where you'd like to be able to have a couple different amp sounds. I remember tracking with that years ago, where you have like you plug in and you split your signal, and it might go through a chorus, and you split into this or split into that amp. So this might not be the same thing with that, but you can actually have these two different amps. And so then here's the first one we're on. But if we click onto this dude, this is now a slot, right? So we hit this power button, and then we can go through and say, well, let's add an amp. And then you start to say, well, how do we want to do this? So let me look for. I'm just going to go through the basic amps. Like you got the classic amps here. So we got like a what is a VH51? Or here's a Mesa. So that's got that. Go ahead and maybe mute. Oops, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So let's turn this one off.
And we got to start turning. How do we do this?
I'm trying to remember.
I know.
Oh, the mix knob.
Yeah, mix it. There you go.
Okay, so now if we combine them.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, here's a cool part. We're going to put the first amp on the left and the new one on the right.
I think you got to turn the other amp. Turn amp B down a little bit.
Do what?
Turn amp B down a little bit.
Amp
Just the
B.
volume.
There we go.
So there's a couple. So here's how I would do this. Like if you wanted to, like in this situation, again, one of the things that was always really nice, you would track it. So like instead of panning it, we'll go back to keeping this a little more mono
cool.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the volume. This is the pan. Derp.
Let's do this.
There you go. Thank you. 'Cause I got bad eyes. And then let me go back to this.
Just kind of move the mouse over.
I'll move the mouse. Oh, oops. Well,
Oh,
that was
you can
interesting.
switch them.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, we gotta come back and see this. So what I like about this, if you can unzoom that for a second. So what I like about this is this amp here. I'm gonna just mute this really quick. Okay, so there's this guy. We'll turn this the red. You get a low end underneath that. Marshall's not really known for their lows, so then you can kind of like you can might wanna...
you can actually see the volume difference right there and there.
If you're trying to match these a little bit better.
Yeah.
Fills it out.
Yeah.
So you give them a little more low end without having to...
So now the question is, The top ones. The top ones, are these going to influence both amps?
No, it's just a 1 amp. See, look at it. It says pre-effects B. That's for amp B. All that stuff is the same
I
thing.
see.
So it's the same. You can have two completely different rigs.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Jeez, yeah. So if you select... Oh, can you imagine the possibilities when you're doing production work?
Yeah. I mean,
Look at that.
let me check out some of the. I'm gonna see what we didn't do this yesterday, but each amp has their own kind of I thought it had this. Are these presets for the? Okay, no, these are the ones that were just general. But what I wanted to do is if I wanted to see if there's any presets specifically for each amp, which I don't know if they have that. Because these presets seem, if you look at like just the list of them, they're the same.
Oh, you mean different presets?
No, just amp specific, like presets. So, like for example, if I want like a Mesa Crunch, I didn't want necessarily Mesa Crunch. I wanted to be able to see if there's a couple other Mesas in there. You know what I mean? So I think where did we get this? I got this Crunch 2. I got this from where did we find the Mesa Crunch? Yeah, this is. I gotta tell you, this is when you have so many presets like this. This gets to be a little bit more.
It's a little daunting.
It's a little daunting because it's kind of like. I don't know, and you're like Mesa lead. Let's see what this one goes. There you go. So if I take now here, there's the Marshall, there's the Mesa. That's a cool sound.
Now, there was something that we found yesterday. You can have plugins on the input side and on the master.
Yeah.
So you've got everything from compressors to delays, regular effects. You can even put more distortion on the entire signal going out. You can put EQs. The amount of dial-up that you can do is just amazing. Did I turn down your sound there?
Yeah. So essentially, this is now really like if you have everything really good and you really don't need to do much more. If you wanted to do a little EQ, you could just put an EQ, right? If you need to tweak the EQ, you get the sound you like. So you find the EQ and you just put a basic EQ on here, and then you can go through and do what you need to do on this sound that you got and do all the normal stuff that you normally might end up doing with
I try that. Really good.
So you like if you say, okay, this is my sound, and I don't really have to change much, then you don't have to put any other processing, or the processing you might put on the channel just might be that extra little bit of stuff to get it to sit nicer with everybody else.
Right, and whatever DAW you're working in, you can just go ahead and save a preset.
There you go.
Oh, you got a little button. He's got a little button on the guitar to do that. That was pretty cool. I'm like, where did that effect come from? So, just really quick. So, the other thing is, you saw that we actually put an EQ here to actually curtail the sound. You can do that here as well.
It looks like we can do that now. I didn't even think of, that's a great idea.
Yeah, let's
go
actually
do that.
let's remove
that,
and
then
let's
just put
go
a
like
simple
this.
EQ. Here, let's play it without it. See,
Okay.
hear all that real low,
Yeah.
low stuff. I mean, if you're like into like doom metal, that's great. But sometimes, and I think I was gonna say, go back one. I saw this. Yeah, get rid of that guy for a quick second. I'm curious.
Oops. Hold on.
Yeah,
I got to remember how to do this. There we go.
Yeah, remove that one.
There we go.
And I saw this EQ. Go to the EQ, and then there's a filter. So try the filter. Just
Comb filter?
No, down. Filter right there. Oh, right above.
Oh,
there you go.
okay.
Filter. Now, you can, in Siri, in essence, take this.
Go ahead.
And start to,
Oh.
that's a high pass. Wait, what the hell? Oh, that's a high pass.
Yeah.
Can't do the same thing. I don't know if this works. This is probably not the right one for that. I don't think this is the right one. Maybe an
Okay.
EQ might just be better. So you did this here. How do you let me
Yeah,
you
just click on the word filter.
and filter and then
Okay.
oh there you go.
it
Oh
goes.
yeah, I got
There
you.
you go.
And then
All the way right
remove
there.
plugin.
Remove plugin.
So let's close this guy out.
All right. Click the plus.
Yeah, let's just look at one more EQ. What's this sweep? Micro EQ. Yeah, that's not probably right.
No.
And I think just normal EQ is probably what you need. All right,
All right.
let's do it again. Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay.
So you do this, remove, plugin, and select EQ, and just do a normal EQ.
There it is. There we go. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a little bit closer to the 96.
Where's the where is there any telling us where we're actually at on here, or is it just kind of roughly? There's no.
Let's see. There's a slope. Yeah, it doesn't look. Oh, hold on. I think I see something. What is this? Oh, wow, you can load an IR into the
Interesting, yeah.
EQ. Let's see. No, there's no kind of way.
Okay, it doesn't
Well, see,
matter.
that's what's nice about the Studio One Pro EQ.
Well, you can kind of see where you're at. I mean, honestly, it's really a temptation to sit there and use your eyes, but you really got to use your ears. You know what I mean? That's good right around there. I just think getting rid of all that crap just makes these amps just sound better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is still out of low end, but now that low end is a function more of that amplifier as
Right.
opposed to just noise. Because that's what a Mesa has. They have that kind of real like crushing thing underneath it.
Looks like we're peaking a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here's another cool thing about this. Your input level has its own level, your output has its own, and then you have this overall, which is nice. So as you guys heard, we were getting a little bit too close to peak, so I just dropped this down just a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool sound.
Now, I've got to do something. I want to hear it panned
Sure.
because I love panning. Oh man. Now see something like that. Keeping them actually straight up, during a mix, and then panning them hard left and right for a chorus.
That works. See, I double. I always double my verses.
Well, I usually do, too.
So it's like what I would do is have one in the middle. Like I would do something like I would make this the sound,
Right.
and it's just my main sound, and I would double the parts and then kind of split it and see if it can then play around with the mix within it. Where you might want to.
There we go.
Maybe have a little bit more of the low towards more of the center. Nah, because it gets in the way.
Right.
But I mean, you can just do a lot. You can figure something out.
Man, so in retrospect, the thing that we've really learned here is the fact that you can build so much with this particular plugin. And the thing that I like about it is it can operate outside of the DAW. By that I mean not necessarily standalone. I'm not sure if there's a standalone. I'd have to look. But you can do all of your production inside the plugin itself and create your own plugin library to be able to bring it into Studio One directly and not have to fart around with Studio One at all. So if you create a plugin, if you use 2 or 3 different DAWs, which I know a lot of people do, being able to actually get your sound set in the plugin itself and being able to bring that sound into any DAW that you might be using post or pre-production, that's huge. That's huge to be able to build your own library. And you don't need the stuff in Studio One like so many plugins do to make it sound better. You literally have every tool available to you in the plugin itself. And I think that's just huge.
That's like, what you can do with all these drum plugins.
Yes.
The other drum plugins have the built-in mixers, and then you can just mix the drums within that plugin. And if you don't need any other like automation or any other things outside of that, we don't need that one-to-one relationship. Just do all the mixing in there in the stereo mix. If and then.
Well, the cool thing is that way, if you're dealing with a customer or a band member that also has something like Easy Drummer, you can create your kit in Easy Drummer and send him that kit.
Sure.
And then if he's using Pro Tools and you're using Studio One or Cubase, you have the same stuff. And now you can do that with a guitar plugin.
Sure.
Well, Doug, I thank you so much for this has been awesome. So this is part 2 of the video series. So I think what we're gonna do here is let's go out on a jam.
Cool.
Okay. What kind of rhythm? You start.
Another cool thing. Check this out.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. That's okay.
We're gonna continue on with the jam. I'm wondering if look at this, dude. I can do this. I can drag that into that. So now what we can do is I can see if this tries both. I should have said, no, take it out. There you go. Let it be. All right.
He's got a little button on there. All right, folks, thanks for coming in here and checking this out. Talk to you soon.
Yep.